Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, can you tell that I'm really excited about today's video? Why, you ask? Well, today I'm talking about one of the things I love so much. If you guess books, you are right. If you guess food, you are also right. For on today's video, I'm going to be talking about books. This is actually going to be kind of a continuation of a book series I did earlier during my YouTube journey. The only difference between that and this one is that then I talked about a lot of books, but today I'm focusing on 3 books. I've always had a thing for reading from the moment I discovered reading novels. That was in my secondary school days, early secondary school days. I've just genuinely connected to reading on a more deeper level. I know a lot of people read for fun and to just pass time, but genuinely reading have got me through so much. I've read some books that even years later I still think about it, and when I think about it I genuinely feel a certain kind of emotion. I've read books that have literally brought me to tears. I've read books that I was not even expecting the kind of suspense or the kind of plot twist that is going to happen. I've read so many books that kind of shaped me in a way as a person, learning new things about myself and also learning new things about the world that I probably would have not had an idea for. So reading have always been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, and it's also something I do plan and hope to continue doing, and hopefully one day I get to write a book. Hopefully, finger crossed, because one of my life goals is actually to at least bring in one book, because I've just read so many books from so many talented authors, and I would really love to at least put something out there that could make the readers could feel a little bit of the emotion that I've learned through reading so many books by so many amazing authors. Reading is always going to have a special place in my heart. By the way, if you hear any noise, just know it's my niece and my nephew, and also my brother, because my brother came to visit during the holiday. But back to the main video. I've read so many books that even after I'm done with it and even after years later, I still think about them. It's still something that I think about, and it still brings a certain kind of emotion to me. And these are these books actually. I read these books around 2022, 2023, and honestly since then I've not tried reading them again. Not because they are not amazing books, they truly are, just because of the kind of emotion I felt reading them, and I'm afraid of being that vulnerable again, even to a book. A part of me is just kind of scared to have that kind of emotion for anything. Basically, that's literally the only reason why I have not tried reading those books again. But they've meant so much to me, and even with so much years past, it's still a story that I still think about once in a while. I think books have always been a way for me to kind of escape from the real world. I just wanted to make this video to express myself more and talk about something that I genuinely truly love. And honestly, I felt the reason why they kind of affected me the way it did is because of I read them simultaneously. I genuinely feel like I don't think I will have the same kind of emotion or feelings I went through when I first read these books if I read them again now in like different times. But like I said, a part of me is still kind of afraid of being that vulnerable. I have not really put that into a test. With all that aside, let's get down to it. First book is They Both Die at the End, and this book broke me genuinely. This was the beginning of my heartbreak for me, honestly. Basically, in this town they have something that is called dead cards. They are basically going to tell you when you are going to die. You could just get a random command and just telling you, oh, I'm sorry to inform you that you're going to die. Imagine getting a call and this is what you hear. Hold on. I regret to inform you that sometimes in the next 24 hours you'll be meeting an untimely death, and while there isn't anything that we can do to suspend that, you still have a chance to live. Yeah, so you get a call basically telling you that you are about to die within 24 hours, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Or is there? Find out when you read the book. There are a lot of characters in this book, but the main characters are 2 guys. They also got the same call and just trying to navigate their last time in the town. They have like special treatment for the people that receive the calls that are about to die, so anything they get to do within that time is free. They are like set characters in the book, but the main character line or storyline is basically about these 2 guys that didn't know each other, by the way, and they just kind of meet up and they just started trying to navigate their lives together. And you're going to see how heartbreaking, and you hear there are different styles of stories and also the side character story. Personally for me, I still don't understand this book in a way. I feel like I still need to go through it to understand some certain things, but at the same time I feel like I understand it enough. I don't want to go through what I went through when I went through this book. But overall, it's a good read. I think I'm going to give it a solid 9.5 over 10. I really like it. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it very well for you. I'm trying not to have any spoilers, and again, I'm trying to jog the memory of what I've read since 2022 to 2023. But it's really a good book, and find out if they actually died at the end. I went through a certain kind of emotions when I was done with the Facebook. They both died at the end. It just feels like what was happening to a friend or someone I'm very close to, and I felt the emotion of what they were going through. Honestly, I was really heartbroken. But while I finished that, I decided for some weird reasons to jump into another book. Mind you, I liked going in blind when I'm reading novels. At least I like to go in blind when I read novels. So I honestly don't know the storm I was kind of putting myself into. The next book I read was All the Bright Places. Why the first book broke me, this one shattered me in shambles and pieces. I don't think my heart have been put together again. So this girl, she recently just lost her sister, and no, this is not a spoiler, it actually happened in the beginning of the book, so I'm not trying to spoil anything. And she's like going through a rough patch in her life and a hard time. And there is also this boy, his name is Finch. I still remember his name till now because oh Lord, Finch. Also another person that is still trying to navigate life and is actually going through a tough time, and I would say he's not mentally okay. It's not like he's mental, but he's not mentally okay. He's fighting his own personal battles, and somehow they were put together in a school project, and they actually had the time to know each other and try to explore their town. You can clearly see the development of the two characters, or so I thought that there was a development. There was, but I don't know, I was just not expecting how it ended. They kind of connected in a deeper level. I think they were dating, I can't remember. I know that they had like something romantic for each other. You don't really know what's going on in someone's head. I don't know what someone is facing. Just because someone is smiling and someone is happy doesn't mean that is what the person is actually feeling inside. And this book just made me realize that I need to learn how to be more patient with people, because you don't know what they are going through, the kind of thought that is running through them. Because I felt that was what was happening to Finch. Even though people can clearly see that, oh, he's not okay, they don't really understand how much of him not being okay it is, and it's just so sad. And I just kind of relate to it in a way, because sometimes that I kind of get in my head and maybe smiling and productive or doing some things, and you don't know that I'm having possibly the worst kind of thoughts running through my head. And I felt that was one of the reasons why I related to his character so much. I just did not see it coming, and at the same time I felt like I was being delusional, because it's something that you can see how did it happen, but you know why it happened, but you're just trying to wrap your head around the fact that this stuff happened. So this book really broke me, honestly, and I was really amazed when I read this book. I just felt like I was finished in a way. I don't know, I really love this book, honestly. Even though I really went through a lot of emotions while reading this book, I'm still going to give it the 10 over 10. I think 2025 I watched the movie of the book. Like, that's the closest I will ever get to reading the book, or even honestly any of the books I'm talking about today. I still went through the same kind of emotion I went through while reading it. It's that bad. I think I have a note I saved. Let me check. I don't know if you see here, but I know I wrote down something about the book. I was finally able to locate it. By the way, this was something I wrote since 2020 to 2023. You can even see his name, Finch. So what I wrote is, have you ever wondered what goes through a person's mind? Have you ever experienced being so down that you can't? All the Bright Places is honestly going to have a special place in my heart forever. The crazy thing is that the person that I recommended the book, she basically said that for her, she didn't really connect to the book, but she can also understand why a lot of people will connect to the book. And I'm wondering why. How can you read this book and you don't connect to this book? But at the same time, again, I understand how it is possible, because everybody are not the same thing. Everybody doesn't go to the same kind of thing. But I've truly, genuinely connected to this book, and I don't know, it's just going to have a special place in my heart for probably forever. Moving on to the last book and the final book. By the time I was done with those two other books, I legitimately was done. I was genuinely was not okay. I was thinking, I was crying, I even dreamt about them. I was like, oh god, I can't do this again. I was like, okay, you know what, I am not going to do anything. I'm not going to try to read any kind of emotional books. Clearly have not learned my lesson, because I still went in blind. But in my defense, you need to see the cover of this book. Third book in question is 1,000 Boiled Kisses. Not only the cover, but even the name itself. Would have thought that book was going to be a lot different from what the name and the cover tells. When I saw this book initially, I thought it was going to be something romantic, which it was, but I thought it was going to be romantic, love, stuff like that, and those kind of things. I never expected that something else was in store for me, because look at the cover, you guys. Like, even the name, 1,000 Boiled Kisses, I thought it was going to be about kisses and you know, the love stuff and lovey-dovey stuff. But yeah, I was so wrong. A next door neighbor kind of situation. This guy moved in, I can't remember his name. He moved into this new place and he met this girl, kind of connected, and they became friends. But unfortunately the guy had to move back because of his dad work, so they had to relocate. Though the boy and the girl were communicating for a while, but all of a sudden communication stopped on the girl's side, and the guy doesn't really know what is happening. Why he was thinking that maybe the girl have lost interest in him, or thinking, oh, maybe she have met someone else, or she doesn't like me again. He doesn't really know that it was something more deeper than that. Few years passed and the boy moved back to the girl's place, the girl's neighborhood, the girl's country, and he actually get to learn the reason why there was a stop of communication from the girl's side. For the rest of the story, they're just trying to live their life to the fullest and so make up for lost times too. Also in the book, the girl grandma died. Again, not a spoiler, it kind of happened early of the novel, I think so, but it's not a spoiler. You can see from the cover, I don't really have the hardcover, I read on my phone. There's a jar and there's a heart paper in it, and that jar was a gift to her for my grandma before she passed away. The jar contains 100 heart papers. Her grandma told her that she has to fill it up with 1,000 important kisses. In the book, you get to see how each kisses that she gets means so much to her, and you see how important it is to her, because she's basically writing it down and documenting the kisses that she gets. Yeah, I really hope that I explained this novel really well, because they were really good. I'm actually going to give this one a 8.5, only because of I don't like the ending. For me, I don't really see the need for how it ended. I feel like it could have gone a lot different from how the author decided to end the book. Aside from that, it was heartbreaking, it was heart-wrenching, there was happiness, there was sadness, and I don't know, I really liked the book. By the time I was done with this strip, I genuinely did not read for a specific amount of time. I'm trying to avoid any lies being told. I know for certain that I didn't read books for weeks. I was so done with reading. I was so scared to pick up a book. After that experience, I actually do read descriptions now before I start reading a book. I don't really go in blind. I do go in blind once in a while, but now I read descriptions more than I go in blind. I think I've learned my lesson. These books at that time were definitely something new for me. I have not really gotten a lot broader in my reading of books or in my journey of reading books, so it was kind of different, and I don't know, I'm 100% going to recommend that. They are honestly going to have a special place in my heart, honestly, genuinely. I've read a lot of books. For some reason, these books, I always come back to them, and it's something I always think about and something I always like remember. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. Some authors are like the goals. Do you know how it is, what it means for someone to actually sit down and write something that could make somebody think about it, envision it, and bring out so much of an emotion? For me, that is magic on its own, honestly. The sun is down and I'm honestly so happy. These are one of my favorite books, and I actually hope that I've convinced you to pick up reading and hopefully to get to read one of these books, so hopefully the three of them. You guys need to go on a roller coaster. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to say, honestly. I love this video. I feel like I'm talking to a friend and telling them how I feel. Let's quickly do a question of the day. Are you a reader or not? Let me know in the comment section. Also, you guys feel free to recommend novels for me. I'm trying to broaden my genres of novel reading. I recently started reading a lot of Nigerian books. I've been sipping a lot on my Nigerian authors because they know what they are doing. Honestly, I recently just finished reading one yesterday and I'm not ready to talk about that one. But you guys, if you stay to the ending of the video, comment down below the book emoji. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future updates. See you next time, and remember, stay grateful. You didn't see that.